Okay, sorry about that, everyone. I think it decided that it had had enough of me whittering on about pretty much nothing. Either that, or it was absolutely astounded that I managed to get my zigzags to line up. Okay, right, so we'll get back onto it. What we've done so far is we have decorated the outside of our book with perfectly organised zigzags. Yeah. And what we're going to do now is we're going to do the inside. So 2 seconds and I'll just get myself back up so that I can see what I'm talking about, which would be novel. Okay, right. And what we're going to do is we're going to decorate the inside of the book. So we're going to cut a piece out of our other piece of pattern paper that is 6 5/8 of an inch width. So I'm just going to take this bit off. So I'm going to measure 6 5/8 of an inch and just cut that as a length. Okay. And I'm just going to make sure that that does fit, which it does miraculously. Okay, so the first cut that I'm going to make is going to be 2 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to round those corners because the edges of my book are rounded. Okay. Have I lost some people, or are you still? Are we still we're still moving over. I'll hold on a minute. Holly, you're fine. You're not late at all. All the best people make an entrance like that. Okay. Then what we've got down here at the bottom is we've got our pocket where we're going to put some memorabilia and stuff. But what I want to do is cut 2 pieces to actually cover this part of the little mini book here. And we're going to cut one that covers the pocket, which is going to be another one at 2 1/8 of an inch. Okay, and as you'll see, that fits quite nicely on there. And then we're going to cut the piece that goes here. Now, if I was measuring exactly, it would be 2 1/4 inches. However, I always cut it slightly longer so that I can tuck the paper in there, because it gives it a much nicer, more professional finish. So although that width there to there is 2 1/4, I'm actually going to cut it at 2 1/2. So that I can just pop that in there when I come to glue it and have a really professional finish to my pocket. You don't have to do this all the same paper. You can use one of them and turn it over. I quite like that actually. I might do that yet. But then the last piece that we're going to cut actually fits in here at the bottom of the waterfall. And that is, now this might be slightly different on everybody's, dependent on where you've actually put your waterfall and the space that you've left at the top. Mine is 4 3/8 of an inch. So I'm going to cut mine at 4 1/4 inches, but you might have to slightly adjust yours. But mine is going to be cut at 4 1/4 inches. Okay. And that is going to fit there. Okay, right, you can put your trim it to one side now. So what I'm going to do with these 4 pieces that I've got here, I'm going to ink the edges. I go back to my black ink. Actually, what I should have said was this one that was 2.5 inches, you don't have to ink all the way around because you won't see the bottom bit. But on reflection, I'm going to put mine that way around. So even though I've inked it, I'm just going to change my mind and I'm just going to ink through those top 3 bits there. Okay, and then when we've inked our edges, we are going to glue those pieces on. So here's the one for the very top. I've rounded those corners. And I'm going to glue that down. Now I said that next time we get together what we're going to do is that Hobbycraft little mini book that I made, and I'll finish off the one that I've been using the Stamperia papers with, and I'll take some photos and show you that. And then the one after, we're actually going to make a little folio, which is from a tutorial that I normally charge for, but I'm going to put it in the group for free because I loves you. And in my book, I've actually used Graphic 45 Lost in Paradise papers, but it's nearly done but not quite. I'm still decorating the front, and as soon as that's done, we'll get on with that. Now after that, I'm thinking we can progress to much bigger mini books, but if anybody's got any ideas of things that they'd like to do in this group, let me know. I do not card make. I am the world's worst card maker. I've got no interest in going down that road at all, but I love mini book making and I love scrapbooking. So if there's things that you want along those lines, just let me know and I will put the class together. So any ideas, gratefully received. If you've maybe done a class with me before that you want to brush up on, or you've got an idea of something that you just fancy doing, then just let me know and we'll do that. But we've got enough to keep us occupied for the next couple of months, I reckon. Okay, so there's my pocket with the bit behind, and now I'm just going to put my final piece on here. Make sure that when you're matting, you're keeping away from the folds, because you don't want to impede the fold of your book at any place by putting paper over the top of it. Okay, so there we go. That's actually decorated up. Now if you want to put photos on these pages, you've got the 6 areas here where you can put photos, and you could put a photo there, you could put a photo in the mat here. Actually, that's the point, we could decorate the mat up as well while we're here. And then we'll get on to actually decorating the book and doing our closure. So while that's kind of all getting together, I'm going to find my mat, which was 6 1/4 by 3.5 inches, which I've definitely lost. I'll just cut another one. I'll just round those corners. So this is a very movable size because you might decide that you want to put different things in, but you'll find that that as a photo mat will fit quite nicely into your pocket there. So I'm just going to decorate that up, but you could make a couple to go in there. You could put tickets, you could put all sorts of things. So that is 6 1/4 by 3.5 inches. So I'm going to take my pattern paper here, and if that's 6 1/4, I'm actually going to want it to be 6 1/8 by 3 3/8. So it's just 1/8 of an inch under 3.5. Same with this one. I can't put it that way around. So that's going to be 6 1/8 by 3 3/8, and I'll just double check the sizing on that. Yep, seems to fit all right. Right, I was asking you about what snacks you got, and I saw that Sarah said that she got Skittles, and then and I think the whole thing went off. So thanks, Sarah. I think you broke the internet. So tell me what else everybody's got, because I'm trying to eat healthy and I haven't got anything, and I'm going to live vicariously through you all now. Who's got ice cream? Wow. That's a really good idea. It's so hot in here. Oh, mint chocolate. Oh, toffee cornetto. Oh, Sadie. Yeah. Next time I see you ladies, you can treat me to a cornetto, I think. Right. So they're inked, so I'm just going to pop these on my photo mat. You could put titles on here, you could put a bit of journaling on here, all sorts of things. Okay. White Magnum. Oh, Steph, I like a cup of tea, but I don't think I'm going to be allowed any drinks up here again. Yes, Gemma, we need to talk. Gemma's promised to help me with some of the social media for our crop. And that's got to be worth a cornetto, I reckon. Right, okay, so there's my little mat, which I'm just going to pop in there for now. Okay, so what we're going to do next is talk about closures, and then we're going to get on to the really fun bit. So, on my book... Please tell me that when you ladies craft, you put something down and then you never, ever, ever find it again. Right, here's my book. On this one, I've just used a ribbon to be the closure. As it happens, I've put holes in with a hole punch. Then I've used my eyelet setter just to make sure that they're secure. You do not have to use an eyelet setter at all. You can just use a hole punch to punch your holes. On that one, I said I've put the 2. On the other books, which I've also now lost, this one I've just made 1 hole, but I've used double ribbon. because it looks pretty. And on this one I've used one hole, but I've just used some twine so that when I put it together I can just tie it in a bow to close. You can use magnets, we talked about that earlier, but for the purposes of tonight we're going to make it look pretty with ribbon. So I'm going to do it the same way that I've done this one, because I'm going to be using satin ribbon tonight rather than the organza. So I'm going to choose my ribbons, and I bought loads in because I couldn't make my mind up, so I need to see what colours fit. So don't like that one. I've got a light purple and a darker purple. And I've got a blue, which I like very much. I actually think the blue is probably best, but it might be nice to have a double one. Right, the lighter purple or the darker purple? Who's going to decide? What do you reckon? There's two purples though, Gemma. There's a light one and a dark one. Can you see? I would bring pink in, but I don't like pink very much. I reckon the lighter one. So I'm going to use those two. Okay. So I'm just going to cut a length. I mean, the length that you cut is entirely up to you. I'm going to say this is going to be about, oh, I don't know, I guess about 1 metre or so. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to measure exactly where I want my hole to go for the ribbons. So I know that this is 6 3/4 inches across. What's half of 6 3/4, Mark? 3 1/4 and a bit. Yeah. See, that's how I work in bits. So 3 1/4 and a bit and a pen. Hold on. 3/8. So here's 3 1/4 and a bit, which makes me think it's about there. And I've made a little mark where the middle is. Now I'm going to use my crocodile, which I put somewhere safe and can't find now. Oh, for goodness sake. Yeah, thank you. Just to make a hole, but you can use a hole punch. It doesn't matter at all. So I'm just going to make one hole in my book there. I'm going to put an eyelet in, only because I'm giving this away and I want to make it look tidy. And I think we'll go for silver. But this is absolutely optional. If you haven't got a crocodile and you haven't got any eyelets, don't worry, they are not necessary at all. So I'll just set that eyelet. Okay. And I'm going to take my ribbon. I'm going to fold it in half. And I'm going to pop it through my hole where my eyelet was and just loop it through like that. Might be a bit bulky. I think maybe I won't loop it. Okay, so for now I'm just going to leave it like that. So when I come to put my book together, I can just tie it in a bow like that. Okay, right, now we're going to decorate the inside and the outside of the book. How you do this is entirely up to you. There's 1,001 ways that you can decorate and embellish. I've still got bits in my Gentle Morning kit that I'm going to have a look at. There was all sorts of die cuts and there was some flare buttons. I don't know if I've got any of those left. But just remember that if you don't have embellishments that perfectly suit your project, that the best way to get around it, if you've got a die cutter, is simply to use your papers and some dies. Now, I put my dies very carefully by so that I could use them tonight, which means that I've lost them. But these dies here that I've used, these are the Tim Holtz ones. I think they're called Wildflower, actually, the flowers that I've used here on the front of the book. I've just cut out lots of die cuts. I've used flare button just to add a bit of extra interest. These are some die cuts that I've got. This hello, I don't know where I got that from, but I do like it. That's a die cut. And then in the bottom bit here, I've used a cut apart. So say maybe you could use a Project Life card. I've got a little envelope here that comes as part of the kit. And I've got my photo mat that I've decorated. Oh, and I've put a word on the back of that. So if you want to carry on with me, I'm going to faff about, because I will faff, and decide how I want to decorate it. Otherwise, I'm just going to leave you to your own devices to go ahead and decorate as you please. I really, really, really hope that you've enjoyed the class tonight. As I said, I'll put up some information about our next class, which is marginally more involved, but not a great deal, for our next class, which I think we can do next week, if you like. I'm quite happy to carry on. Is Mondays a good day for people? Or would you prefer to do a different day? It's entirely up to you. I'm quite happy to be guided, as long as it's not a Wednesday, because I do a very involved mini book class on a Wednesday online. But if you let me know what works, I would be more than happy to start on the new project next week. So I'm going to carry on just wittering and decorating this up. But if you've got any questions, just let me know, and I'll let Mark answer them for you. So thank you ever so much for joining me tonight. I really, really appreciate your company, and I hope that I will see you all again very soon. So thank you very much. Oh, and don't forget to put the pictures of what you've done in the group, because I can't wait to see what you do with these. Oh, right, funny story. When I bought the papers for this kit for our crop, I loved them. I loved them the moment that I saw them. And as I mentioned, they're actually from a Ukrainian company called Scrapmere, who I adore, and I actually stock a lot of their papers in my shop. Might as well do a shameless plug. You can find the shop at thescraplab.co.uk. Specialise in mini book making. I've got a whole load of stuff to go up in the next couple of days. Loads and loads and loads of more papers. Lots of graphic 45. I have got scoreboards. I have got bone folders, all the things that you need to make mini books. I stock a lot of adhesives. Chipboards are incredibly popular that I get from a Polish company called Scrapignettes, but do have a look. There's a lot to go up at the moment, and that's at thescraplab.co.uk. Also, if anybody's interested, I run a couple of retreats every year. The next one's in October, where we are making, you know what, I can show it to you, hang on. We're going to make a mini book. Now, I've had people on my retreats, and I think some of them might be in the group tonight, who will say that they had never made a mini book until they came to last year's retreat. And we made a great big book, which is right at the top of my desk, so I'm not going to get it out now. An A4 book, and I know that anybody who wants to make a mini book can make one, and I don't think that I was altogether believed, but everybody who came to the retreat to make a book left with something absolutely spectacular. I was absolutely in awe of what people were making. But this is what we'll be doing at this retreat. It's in Stafford. You've got a choice of residential and non-residential options, and that's the 4th to the 6th of October this year. Now, anybody who likes scrapbooking will recognise this paper. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's by Coco Vanilla. It's the Happiness Collection. And the thing about my retreats is that I want you to go home with something that you love. So you choose your papers and you tell me what you want in your kit, and that's what we do. This was done very, very quickly. It's a little charm that my best friend and business partner, actually, Mel, makes, and she will be teaching you a class whilst you're on the retreat to actually make your very own, totally bespoke and unique to your book charm. And then this is the book. It's a little bit unusual because it opens up just like a book, but actually it keeps on opening. I'm just going to make sure I've got this in shot. All right. Now, like mini books, there's all sorts of little flippy flappy bits. Places for your photographs, so lots and lots of mats. Acetate pockets. A proper waterfall. Woo! So much fun. I love that bit best. And the nice thing about this book is that even though it unrolls, you can actually fold it whichever way that you want. So that's what we're going to be making in October. If anybody wants any more information, just give me a shout and I will tell you all about it. So back to the book that we were making just now. I'm just going to get on and decorate that now. So I've got loads and loads and loads of little bits here. You will see that this beautiful chipboard that came with the kit is actually in Russian. Little oversight on my part, but we can always cover them over with stickers. Like Tim Holtz stickers are always the way to go with those. So this is the point where you discover that when I craft, I am actually seriously incredibly messy. Hands up everyone else who is. Flamingos still in? I know they used to be. Are they still? I'm going to put some flamingos on mine. So has everybody managed to catch up tonight, keep up? We've all managed to make a little book. In between our cups of tea and ice creams, not that I'm jealous or anything. Oh, Diane, lucky you. Wish I could say the same. Right, I've lost my bone folder again. Really, just tell me how these things can disappear in the space of a millisecond, really. No idea, gonna use my pencil. This is just a little pocket that comes as part of the kit. Need to just work out where the middle is. Just going to make a little put some journaling in that. I've actually got some die cuts here that I did last time I made the book. I mean, one of the things that you can use, I love looking at really patterned papers and then doing lots and lots of fussy cutting, or as we English like to say, cutting out. Because you can often find lots of really cute little bits that you can just cut around that will make really, really, really nice little accent pieces. That's really pretty. Might use that. Might be a bit big, but let's have a look. Yeah, I know, I cut out right-handed. There's no sense to it. I have no idea why that is. Not so sure I like that now. I've still got a few die cuts left. Oh, trusty flamingo. Some feathers. Ooh, another flamingo. Are you taking the mickey, dear?
Where?
My wonderfully zigzag aligned.
Handmade by Calvin.
Yeah, it was exactly how it was meant to be. Right, let's have a look at the front. Let's see what I've got in the way of dies. Now, I did put those out somewhere safe. Do you know, you've got no idea how glad I am that you can only see this very, very, very small part of my craft room. In September, the Hobbycraft design team are all doing an Instagram takeover. And one of the things that they've suggested that we do is show you around our craft rooms. I'm thinking not. Right, dies. Oh, look, those are the ones I used. They are Thinlits Wildflowers by Tim Holtz. They're really good. I like those a lot. That is Martha. Martha is one of 4 cats we have who really, oh, she's after the glue, who really enjoys walking all over whatever I'm doing. Okay, in fact, actually, you can help us with something. Mark and I have 3 British Shorthairs who we absolutely love, who are our babies, our life, our everything. We have Ruby, who was a stray. She's been with us for the longest, probably about 14 or 15 years now. She's absolutely alpha cat. She's absolutely in charge. We love our cats to bits. They're chunky, they've got round faces, they're just absolutely beautiful. But as British Shorthairs go, they're not the biggest in the world. And we've always kind of had this dream that we'd like a really chunky one. And tomorrow we are meant to be going to look at a retiring stud boy who is absolutely, well, yeah, he's retired now because he's had snippy snip, who is just the most beautiful boy you've ever seen. And apparently he's a right softie. British Shorthairs aren't exactly known for being affectionate, but he's a bit of a softie. But we're really worried about having him. and we can't make up our minds whether or not this is a good idea. So I think what we'll do now is we'll put a poll up, Mark, and people can say yes or no. Do we have this beautiful Max boy to come and live with us, or not? I don't know. I can't make my mind up. I'll keep you posted on that one. So, oh yeah, I was looking at dies, wasn't I? I want a nice word for the front. Here we go. What have I got? Well, I've got my nice hello, that one that I really like. I might just use that again. Oh, or celebrate. I'll go for hello. I'm going to try it in black. Has anybody been down to their Aldi lately? Because I'm going to give you a bit of an enabler alert here. These are little desktop die cutting machines that they've had in Aldi quite recently, and I think when they came out originally they started at £19.99, something like that. They were excellent value then. However, I managed to pick this one up for £4.99. So if you've got an Aldi near you, go down and have a look in the clearance section, because you might find that you get an absolute bargain, and I don't really think you can go wrong with that. They're nice and heavy, they cut absolutely beautifully. Oh, and definitely worth having. Right, I'm not sure if this is going to be right or not, but there's no harm in trying. We'll just have to have a look and see if we can find out. Doesn't want to come out of the die. Did have a load of pins up there, but I think I must have knocked them off when I was clearing up the juice. There's always a solution. Paperclip. You got one from Aldi, Leslie? They're really good, aren't they? Absolutely amazing value for money. You got a pin?
Pin.
It's just won't. It's too thick. You know, after all this, I'm not going to like the black. So, right. Okay. Yeah, I might put that on. This always takes the longest bit. It's not just me, is it? I guess it takes everybody else the longest time to do these. I'm just thinking. I've got this really cute little punch from Hobbycraft in the sale. They have got some great sales on. And it does a whole load of different flowers. Your embossing tool that we used earlier, take one of your flowers, take the bigger ball part of your embossing tool, use the middle of the palm of your hand as your sort of embossing board, and just rub that ball, oh god, I really hope Sarah's not still listening, round. It will start to shape up your flowers. Give the petals a bit of a shape, turn it over, and you've got a shaped flower. Ooh. Did you keep up, Maggie? Okay, can somebody start singing? Sarah, for instance. If anybody's local to Stafford and wants to come along, we actually have a scrapbooking crop on the first Saturday of every month at Dunstan, which is just off junction 13 of the M6, that's Stafford South. We meet between 10 and 4. You can come along, bring your own projects and just do your own scrapbooking, but we welcome other crafts because we're nice like that. So like crochet or anything along those lines, knitting. We even allow card makers in, take anybody really. Then we also have visiting tutors who come and do classes with us as well. We've had some great people this year. We've had a lady called Alison Turner who's done junk journaling with us and art journaling. We've had the amazing Tracy Evans from All and Create, who's been and done 2 classes for us actually. We had Abs from All and Create last year. We're hoping to get a few more really great people to come along next year, but if you want to come and join us, we actually have a Crop Central group on Facebook if you want to join that. We're always happy to welcome new people, and I said it's the first Saturday of the month, which means that it's actually next Saturday, so I need to get a move on with a few things. This Saturday is it? Oh crikey, yeah, this Saturday. Right, so I'm just going to carry on decorating now and just finish this off, but it is now 9:15 and I think you're probably absolutely sick to death of me wittering on. So what I'm going to do, yes, thank you dear. So what I'm going to do, I presume the oi Leslie was about card makers. Yeah, no, I'm surprised Val's not said anything either if she's here. I'm going to carry on making this. I'll put some pictures of my finished version up in the group when I've done it. Thanks again for joining me, everybody. I'm not going far. I'm going to be here because I'm going to get this book finished, even though I won't be live anymore. But drop me a line if you want to, post something on the page. Please, please, please show me what you're making, because it makes me so excited to see all the great stuff that you do. And I'd like to thank you ever so much for joining me this week, and hopefully we will get together next week, but I will let you know where and when. And don't forget that if you miss a class for whatever reason, you will still be able to take part. I'll be saving the lives here in this Facebook group, but also I'll try and find a way to put them up onto YouTube as well. So thanks very much for joining me, and I will see you all really soon.